Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I am going to finish chapter 12 of Bill Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse. Let's get right into it. I have talked to friends and acquaintances of Ms. Cooper, who swear that she stated on many occasions that the CIA controls UFO magazine. Vicky Cooper's uncle, Grant Cooper, was Sirhan's defense attorney who made no attempt to defend his client. It was important to the secret government and the CIA that Sirhan be pinned as a lone assassin. Grant Cooper has extensive ties to the CIA and the Johnny Roselli mob. We have found that Vicky's son attends the West Point Military Academy. What a wonderful way to control a magazine. You don't play ball, your son won't graduate. I found out that the person who found Vicky Cooper in an apartment when she arrived in Los Angeles was Barry Taff, a long-time employee of the intelligence agencies, yes, plural, and a longtime protege of Dr. John Lilly and Dr. Jay West, the government's premier experts in mind control. These men have been involved in the most terrifying experimentation ever directed at total control of individuals. I believe that it is no innocent coincidence that Taft's apartment is directly above Vicky's. All of this was confirmed independently in a letter written by Mr. Martin Cannon, a Los Angeles-based researcher. The letter can be found in the appendix. The most damning evidence for the control of UFO magazine and Vicky Cooper comes from Don Ecker. At the 1989 MUFON conference, Don Ecker became so uninhibited that he managed to relate the following story to me and two others. According to Don Ecker, Vicky Cooper used to work for the infamous Mayflower Madam. The feds were trying to get the madam and discovered Vicky. Ms. Cooper was busted and threatened with spending the rest of her life in prison if she did not cooperate. Vicky rolled over, according to Ecker, and ratted on her employer. Since Vicky had apparently had something to do with the bookkeeping operation, she became a key witness. The Mayflower Madam was put out of business and into jail, thanks to Ms. Cooper's testimony. That is, if Don Ecker was telling the truth. We have no reason to believe that he was lying. I don't know why Don told us. Maybe he doesn't like Vicky, or maybe he, like Lear and Friedman, thought I was one of them. It'll be a cold day in hell, I think is what he's trying to say. According to Ecker, Vicky Cooper was told to get out of town and stay out. She was giving money and told to start UFO magazine in Los Angeles. She was told that she was to print information that would be fed to her. Sure enough, you read in UFO, purportedly government UFO information, always written by someone who cannot be contacted. It is always under alias. No one can check the information. Vicky is adamant about printing only the news and information that she considers best for the readers, as if they have no mind of their own. She indulges in character assassination. Don Ecker claims to have been a member of Army intelligence, the Green Berets, and later a police officer in Boise, Idaho. Don claims a total of 10 years experience as a criminal investigator. The Boise Police Department, when asked by phone, has denied any knowledge of Mr. Ecker. I have requested that Don furnish a copy of his Army record, but he has refused. Ecker calls himself a UFO expert and has dubbed himself, yep, you guessed it, a ufologist. He sprinkles terms like ufological around in his articles, and not even Don knows what the hell it means. He confirms most of the information that I have divulged when he speaks to groups. He has furnished databases with a plethora of files that confirm everything that I have ever said. Ecker probably made them up himself, since they are all anonymous. He claims that aliens mutilate humans like cattle. Don Ecker, like Vicky Cooper, practices character assassination. According to legitimate law enforcement sources, Ecker is lying to the public. He was a guard at the Idaho State Prison from September 1981 to September 1982 when he quit to become a Canyon County Sheriff's Department narcotics deputy trainee. Donald Francis Ecker was fired after only 6 weeks for improper conduct. Mr. Ecker returned to the Idaho State Prison, where he was employed as a guard until 1987, when he shot off his leg with a shotgun during the training exercise. Sources also reveal that Donald Francis Ecker II is a fugitive from justice. Authorities in Idaho holds several outstanding warrants for the arrest of Mr. Ecker. You must understand that the government is not ever going to allow any person or any group of persons to uncover the most highly classified secret in the world, if they can help it. They will always have agents controlling UFO groups, publications, and information. If aliens are not real, and the whole thing turns out to be the greatest hoax ever perpetrated, just who do you think did the perpetrating? If the underground history is correct, aliens have manipulated and/or ruled the human race through various secret societies, religions, magic, witchcraft, and the occult. The Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission are in complete control of the alien technology and are also in complete control of the nation's economy. Eisenhower was the last president to know the entire overview of the alien problem. Succeeding presidents were told only what Majesty 12 and the intelligence community wanted them to know. Believe me, it was not the truth. Majesty 12 has presented most new presidents with their picture of a lost alien culture seeking to renew itself, build a home on this planet, and shower us with gifts of technology. In some cases, the president was told nothing. Each president, in turn, has swallowed the story, or no story at all. Hook, line, and sinker. Meanwhile, the innocent people continue to suffer at the hands of the alien and human scientists. I have been unable to determine exactly what it is they are doing. Many people are abducted and are sentenced to live with the psychological and physical damage for the rest of their lives. Could this really be a CIA mind control operation? In the documents that I read, 1 in 40 humans have been implanted with devices, the purpose of which I have never discovered. The government believes that aliens are building an army of implanted humans who can be activated and turned upon us at will. You should also know that to date, we have not ever begun to come close to parity with the aliens. I sent 536 copies of a petition to indict to every member of the Senate and House of Representatives on April 26, 1989. As of this date, November 23, 1990, I have received a total of only 6 replies, only 4 more than I had received in May 1989. The conclusions are inescapable. The secret power structure made believe that by our own ignorance or by divine decree, planet Earth will self-destruct sometime in the near future. These men sincerely believe that they are doing the right thing in their attempt to save the human race. It is terribly ironic that they have been forced to take as their partner an alien race, which is itself engaged in a monumental struggle for survival. Many moral and legal compromises may have been made in this joint effort. These compromises were made in error and must be corrected. Those responsible should be brought to account for their actions. I can understand the fear and urgency that must have been instrumental in the decision not to tell the public. Obviously, I disagree with that decision. Throughout history, small but powerful groups of men have consistently felt that they were alone, were capable of deciding the fates of millions. Throughout history, they have been wrong. This great nation owes its very existence to the principles of freedom and democracy. I believe with all my heart that the United States of America cannot and will not succeed in any efforts that ignores those principles. Full disclosure to the public should be made, and we should proceed to save the human race together. Number 2, we are being manipulated by a joint human-alien power structure, which will result in a one-world government and the partial enslavement in the human race. This has been deemed necessary to solve the elemental question: who will speak for planet Earth? It has been decided that man is not mature enough in his evolutionary development to be trusted to interact properly with an alien race. We already have enough trouble between the different human races. So what would happen if a totally alien extraterrestrial race was introduced? Would they be lynched, spit upon, or shot? Would discrimination result in nasty encounters that would doom humanity as a result of the aliens' obviously superior technology? Have our leaders decided to lock us in a playpen? The only way to prevent the scenario from taking place is to cause an evolutionary leap in consciousness, a paradigm shift for the entire human race. I have no idea how it can be done, but I know that it desperately needs to be done. It needs to be done very quickly and very quietly. Number 3, the government has been totally deceived, and we are being manipulated by an alien power, which will result in the total enslavement and/or destruction of the human race. We must use any and every means available to prevent this from happening. Number 4, if none of the above are true, something else may be happening which is beyond our ability to understand at this moment. We must force disclosure of all the facts, discover the truth, and act upon it. The situation in which we find ourselves is due to our own actions or inactions over the last 44 years. Because it is our own fault, we are the only ones who can change future events. Education seems to me to be a major part of the solution. The remaining part is the abolition of secrecy. Amen. Number 5, there is always the possibility that I was used, that the whole alien scenario is the greatest hoax in history designed to create an alien enemy from outer space in order to expedite the formation of a one world government. I have found evidence that this could be true. I have included that evidence in the appendix. I advise you to consider this scenario as being probable. Through ignorance or misplaced trust, we as a people have abdicated our role as the watchdog of our government. Our government was founded of the people, for the people, by the people. There was no mention or intent ever to abdicate our role and place our total trust in a handful of men who meet secretly to decide our fate. In fact, the structure of our government was designed to prevent that from ever happening. If we had done our job as citizens, we would never have reached this point. Most of us are completely ignorant as to even the most basic functions of our government. We have truly become a nation of sheep, and sheep are always eventually led to slaughter. It is time to stand up in the manner of our forefathers and walk like men. I remind you that the Jews of Europe marched obediently to the ovens after having been warned, believing all the while that the facts could not possibly be true. When the outside world was told of the Holocaust occurring in Hitler's Europe, it was not believed at first. You must understand that, real or not, the purported presence of aliens have been used to neutralize certain widely different segments of the population. Don't worry, the benevolent Space Brothers will save you. It can also be used to fill the need for an extraterrestrial threat to justify the formation of a new world order. The aliens are eating us. The most important information that you need to determine your future actions is that this new world order calls for the destruction of the sovereignty of nations, including the United States. The New World Order cannot and will not allow our Constitution to continue to exist. The New World Order will be a totalitarian socialist system. We will be slaves shackled to a cashless system of economic control. If the documentation that I viewed while I was in the Naval Intelligence is true, then what you have just read is probably closer to the truth than anything ever written. If extraterrestrials are a hoax, then what you just read is exactly what the Illuminati wants you to believe. I can assure you, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that even if aliens are not real, the technology is real. Anti-gravity craft exist, and human pilots fly them. I and millions of others have seen them. They are metal, they are machines, they come in different shapes and sizes, and they are obviously intelligently guided. If suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, would forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries. And we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings on this earth. Ronald Reagan to Mikhail Gorbachev. That's the end of chapter 12. I've already said it 100 times that people are complicit in what's going on. They like it, so they don't want to change it. It's that simple. Oh, no, Dave, I don't want to see people murdered. Oh, no, I don't want to see people subjugated. I don't want to see slaves. Well, you really do, because that's what our system has created. And if you choose to ignore that, then you are complicit because you refuse to acknowledge the truth. So be it. It's too big for any one person at this point. You can say, go along, get along, vote with your feet, run away. at some point, there will be a time to stand up and be counted, but it's not now. Because right now, they'll just pick you off. And that's what I've said to Dan in another video, is these groups who are going to resist or stand up and say no, well, number one, you identify yourself and think about it. If they can isolate pockets, right, then they can definitely do divide and conquer. So it's a very difficult time. And with what's going on with this jab now, I saw an interesting Twitter post where this woman went to the doctor with her child, toddler, looked like he was 2 or 3. So he's not vaccinated. I don't think she's vaccinated. So it took her 5 months to get this appointment. And she gets to the doctor's office and they said, "Oh, you're not vaccinated? Well, you can't come in. Plus your son, he's not vaccinated. He can't come in." And so I wasn't around back when segregation existed in the United States, but that's what's coming. And they're already doing a good job. I know 2 people. They've been best friends their whole life. They're in their mid to late 50s. And the son of one of them just got married. And the other friend was the godfather, but was not invited to the wedding because they were not vaccinated. Okay, that's got to go. Peace.